Hello everyone, this is Feet. Right now I'm sleeping with Papa Coachella, Casey Jones, and my husband Mike. But I am here to say I've had one hell of a week. I know you're excited for the new Feet Armageddon. So to have you not waiting, I made this special movie for you. Really. You see, my weekend isn't any other weekend than you think. If you want to find out what I'm talking about, then this movie's for you. This, behold, is the Feet creepypasta. Our story begins on a sunny day. I was just hanging out with my husband. It's been 6 years since we were married. Luckily, Mike would recover from that incident that happened last Christmas. My 5-year-old son James was playing outside. He was a very shy kid, so he doesn't usually talk to people. So when he came back inside, he was eating cereal, and they said, "I have a new friend." I responded, "Who's his name?" And James responded, "His name's Sideshow John." It was an interesting name. It creeped me out. What does he look like? He's a clown. A clown? Throughout my earlier years, I've always hated clowns. Clowns can sometimes be scary. So then I went to bed, and I had the worst nightmare ever. I was waking up in this night place in my dream. I was in a carnival. I could see these broken tents, dead people, and broken joyrides. Nice. But then I saw a toy box. It was singing. Up goes the weasel. Pop goes the weasel. Whatever it was, I began singing with it. And then I found out to have my legs frozen and ice cold. And I saw these horrible children. They had cuts all over them. Some of their eyes were removed. They started ripping out some of my hearts. They started poking holes in me. I didn't like it. So then I woke up. And then I woke up to see that some of James' action figures were staring at me. I don't know why. It just showed. So then I told to James about if he was the one who did it. And he said Sideshow John did it. Then I was thinking, is this guy James' imaginary friend? Or is he just being crazy? I mean, who could do this? If it wasn't James, then who was it? So I tried to go to sleep. So then hours later, I tried to search for James, and I find him on the bedside garden. So then I responded, James, how many times do I have to say, stay in the backyard? James, what are you eating? He pulled out what was in his pocket, and it was hard candy. Candy. I responded, James, who gave that candy to you? Sideshow John gave it to me. That's what he said. Said. So then my husband Mike said, I've had it with this damn Sideshow John thing. He is not real. Real. Who gave you the candy? He really did give it to me. It is true. So then I was thinking, maybe it was Papa Coachella who gave it to him, or maybe even Casey. Besides, Papa Coachella is my father and Casey's my neighbor. But seriously, who could do a thing like this? So then when I went to sleep, I found out I heard a noise in the kitchen. I decided to go upstairs. I went into the kitchen to see what that noise came from. And surprise, I went in terror, and I found out that my new roommate had been hung from the bed light, and he was hung dead. But for some reason, his limbs were sliced open and replaced with hard candy, the same candy that James was eating. It didn't make any sense. Who is responsible for all this? I said. So then I got my friends to wake up. I got Coachella to help me. So I checked in James' room, and he was crying. Everything was smashed. So I got all my other friends up, and I called the cops. So obviously they responded. So the phone was out of battery, so we couldn't call the cops. But it was said all of the doors were shut. All the windows were still open. All the windows haven't been broken. They're not open, they're sealed tight. So that only means whoever did this didn't come from the outside. This made me come in big shock. So we decided the only way we can do this is if we can send up any cameras around the place. So we also found a baby monitor. So we put it on James. So we could actually hear him. So we could actually hear what's going on in his room. So we set up some cameras around the place. Imaginary friend or not, no one's going to hurt my baby. So we all went to bed. And then we heard it. So I grabbed a weapon and I went into the door, and I was in complete shock to the horror and just sadness that I saw in there. You are never going to believe what I found in my baby's room. My son's body was nailed on the wall with cuts all over him. He was nailed to his head and feet everywhere. His eyes were removed, even his tongue. My poor son. Then I found out that he had been still alive. But what was the most bad part is that his limbs were cut open. I couldn't watch. I threw up all over the place. It was so bad that I finally found out who was responsible for all this. He revealed himself out of the shadows. He wasn't an imaginary friend. He wasn't Sideshow Bob. He wasn't the Joker. He wasn't any of those damn clowns. And it was revealed that he was Sideshow John. He gave out a knife, and was almost about to kill me with it. But then my friends came in. They saved the day. But sadly, the clown was too fast that he knocked them all out. So then he was about to go right for my son and finish him off. So then I grabbed out a knife and I said, "Get away from my son!" I tried to stab him, but he disappeared. And I stabbed, and then he disappeared. I had killed my son. I responded, "What have I done? I have failed, James. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, James. I'm a bad parent. I failed. I was going to protect you, but no, I have failed. My baby." But then Arcachella stabbed the clown. So now you know the horror and why to never make friends with a clown. And that's my story of what last week was like. It is a sunny day right now, but who cares? I'm never going to forget that day. So, now that I've got that horrible story out of my way, either way, that was a creepypasta story. I hope you. So now you can actually shut up about Tap Feet Armageddon. And now, I hope you don't forget this video. I hope you don't forget what was in this movie and the horror that happened to my child, my baby, my 5-year-old son, James. But as long as my husband, my father, and my neighbor are with me, we're always gonna be friends, and nothing will ever go wrong. Oh yeah, there's one last thing after the clown died. It was the most interrogating thing he most validly said. And the thing he said was out of my mind. He said that this was just a setup. This was just a trap, because and his last words were, "He's back." And I said, "Who's back?" And he responded, "Dark Lord Cat is back." So I hope you enjoyed that story. Or maybe you won't. So, at least it's scary enough. And even though Halloween is past, I don't care. Because last week, I will never, ever damn forget. Goodbye, and see you in Armageddon. See you in hell, Dark Lord Cat. And I hope, and my allies aren't gonna lose against you.